Let's look at a question that says simplify 3 times logarithm of 9 to base 6 plus the logarithm of 12 to base 6 plus logarithm of 64 to base 6 minus logarithm of 72 to base 6 In order to solve this, there are quite a number of rules to follow or that will guide us in solving this question properly. Okay, let's see. We are given that 3 times logarithm of 9 to base 6 plus logarithm of 12 to base 6 plus logarithm of 64 to base 6 minus logarithm of 72 to base 6. Okay, let's check some rules that will help us to answer this question. We're having that n times logarithm of p to base b is the same thing as logarithm of p raised to power n to base b. Yes, raised to power n to base b. It's saying that n times the logarithm of p to base b is equals to the logarithm of p to the power n to base b. Then the second rule says that logarithm of b to base b equals to 1. Logarithm of b to base b equals to 1. I'm trying to say that if I'm having log 2 to base 2, logarithm of 2 to base 2, logarithm of 2 to base 2 equals to 1. That is what it's talking about. Now, the third rule is the logarithm of a number p to base b plus logarithm of q to base b equals to the logarithm of p times q to base b. Then we have the logarithm of p to base b minus logarithm of q to base b equals to the logarithm of p divided by q to base b. Alright, so let's go back to our question and apply this rule one after the other. We are having that 3 times logarithm of 9 to base 6 plus logarithm of 12 to base 6 plus logarithm of 64 to base 6 minus logarithm of 72 to base 6. So we are to use the first rule that says that n times logarithm of p to base b equals to logarithm of p raised to power n to base b. Now, where am I applying this rule? This particular one. So I'm using it to simplify this further. Yes, I'm using it to simplify 3 times log 9 to base 6 further. I want it to look just same way with others. Now, what are we going to do? I'm going to have the logarithm of 9 raised to power 3 to base 6 plus the logarithm of 12 to base 6 plus logarithm of 64 to base 6 minus logarithm of 72 to base 6. You can see I'm not doing anything, I'm just repeating all this other one, but I'm trying to justify this. So if I simplify this particular one further, I'm still going to have the logarithm of 729 to base 6 plus logarithm of 12 to base 6 plus logarithm of 64 to base 6 minus logarithm of 72 to base 6 and logarithm of 72 to base 6. Okay, now at this junction I can say that I can use a board math or pip math to solve this and simplify it more better. But before I can do that, I need to apply another rules that say that the logarithm of p to base b plus logarithm of q to base b equals to the logarithm of p times q to base b. I'm only applying this rule to this aspect, and that result will be the logarithm of 729 times 12 times 64 to base 6 minus the logarithm of 72 to base 6. So I've applied this rule only to this section, only to this point. So I'm able to have the logarithm of 729 times logarithm of 12 times 64 to base 6 minus logarithm of 72 to base 6. Minus logarithm of 72 to base 6. Alright, let's simplify them further. If we simplify further, we are going to have the logarithm of 559,872 to base 6 minus log 72 to base 6 minus log 72 to base 6. We are going to have the logarithm of 559,872 to base 6 minus log 72 to base 6 minus log 72 to base 6. Alright, there's a rule to apply to this. So if I now apply this rule that said that log p base b minus log q base b to be equals to log p over q base b. That is the logarithm of p to base b minus logarithm of q to base b equals to the logarithm of p over q to base b. So if I apply this rule, particular instruction, to this very statement, I'm going to have the logarithm of 559,872 over 72 to base 6 to be equals to log 7,776 to base 6. Log the logarithm of 7,776 to base 6 to base 6. That is, if I perform a division on this, I'm going to simplify and have this result. Now, what's now the interest here is that can I write 7,776 in terms of 6? Yes, it's possible. Let's perform a long division operation on this using 6 to divide it repeatedly. And if we do that, we are going to have 6 goes in 7,776 going to give me 1,296. If I keep on dividing with 6, 6 goes in 1,296, I'm going to have 216. 6 goes in 216, I'm going to have 36. And 6 goes in 36, I'm going to have 6. Then 6 goes in 1 is going to be 6 goes in 6 is going to be 1. So I'm going to have this result. So I'm having 6 times 6 times 6 times 6 times 6. So I'm having all this. I'm having that as my answer. So if I multiply this result, I'm going to have 7,776. So I'm having the 6 raised to power 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm having 6 raised to power 5. 6 raised to power 5, and as I think there's error here. So this is supposed to be 6 raised to power 5. So 6 raised to power 5 will give me 7,776. So 7,776. So this one is there, 7,776. So if I do that, I'm going to have logarithm of 6 raised to power 5 to base 6. Logarithm of 6 raised to power 5 to base 6. Logarithm of 6 raised to power 5 to base 6. There's a rule to do this. Now, let's apply the rule. The rule says that the logarithm of p raised to power n to base b equals to the n times the logarithm of p to base b times n. So n times the logarithm of p to base b to base b, and that would give me 5 times logarithm of 6 to base 6. Logarithm of 6 to base 6. Now, there's another rule here that says that logarithm of b to base b equals to 1. Then if I apply that same rule here, the logarithm of 6 to base 6 is equals to 1. So it means that 5 times 1, and 5 times 1 equals to 5. Yeah, this one says that the mean of 10 positive number is 16. The mean of 10 positive number is 16. When another number is added, the mean became 18. Find the 11th number. The mean of 10 positive number is 16. When another number is added, the mean becomes 18. Find the 11th number. Yes. So let's look at it. How do we find the 11th number? Let the sum of the 10 positive number be y. Let the sum of the 10 positive number, be y. Because we are saying, the question said that there is a 10 positive number and the mean is 16. And the mean is 16. So then, if you now have the mean to be 16, it means that the mean is y all over 10 equals to 16. Y over 10 equals to 16, where x bar is my mean. That is the summation of data collected all over the number of data. So that is x bar equals to y over 10, where y is the sum of the 10 positive number. So if we cross multiply, we are going to have y equals to 10 times 16. Y equals to 10 times 16, and that will give us 160. 160. So the 10 positive number is 116. So if the 10 positive number is 160, if the 10 positive number is 160, and another number is added that make the mean to be 18. So let the other number that is added be x. So if the other number that is added is x, then it means such that 160 plus x is the sum of the new number. So the new number that we are going to have sum to 160 plus x. So if we find the x bar of this, that is the new mean of this, we are going to have 160 plus x divided by 11, which is equals to 18. So if we cross multiply again, we are going to have 11 times 18 equals to 160 plus x. 11 times 18 equals to 160 plus x. So 11 times 18 equals to 160 plus x, and that will give us 198. 198 minus 160. If we collect like time, so this one give me 198. 198 equals to 160 plus x. 160 plus x. So if we collect like time, we are going to have 198 minus 160, and that gives us 38. So the other number added is 38. The other number added is 38. So let's look at the next question. The next question. Four pencils are held together in a square by an elastic band. If the pencils are of diameter 7 mm, what is the length of the band in this position? Okay, four pencils are held together in a square by an elastic band. If the pencils are of diameter 7 mm, what is the length of the band in this position? What is the length of the band in this position? Yeah, four pencils are held together in a square by an elastic band. If the pencil are diameter 7 mm, what's the length of the band in this position? So to solve this question, we are going to apply a simple formula. So let's consider the shape or the diagram for that. So we have pencils. So we have the four pencils. So if the four pencils are here, actually we are going to have we have the diameter to be 7 mm. So mean that I'm going to have the radius to be 3.5. So this is 3.5. So 3.5 and 3.5. This place is also 3.5. 3.5. So I'm having 3.5 here too. Same thing. 3.5. Then this is another 3.5. 3.5, and I'm having another 3.5 here too. 3.5. Why am I 3.5? Then I'm having 3.5. 3.5. So the same thing to this point. Now we have 4 circles touching the band. We have 4 circles touching the band. 4 of the circle touching the band. So my n is 4. So if my n is 4 and the diameter is 7 and the diameter is 7, my n is 4 and the diameter is 7. Now, what are we really looking at? We are looking at the point of this circle that touches the band, which is this point. With this, we have this point. We have this point that form an arc length. We have this point. We have this point. We have this point. Now, the 2 points that we have as a sector forms. A sector form, and then with a length of an arc, So applying formula, first I'm going to solve this question with formula, and the formula that says that the length of the band is d is equals to d into the pi plus n, where n is the number of the circle touching the band. N is the number of the circle touching the band. So if n is the number of the circle touching the band, I'm having 1, 2, 3, 4 circle touching the band. So my n is 4, my diameter is 7 millimeter, and my pi is 22/7. So if I apply my formula, I'm having L into the 7 plus open bracket my d, L equals to 7, where my d is 7, plus 4, n is 4, then the pi is 22/7. If I open this bracket, 7 times 4, I'm going to have 7 times 4. This will give me 7 times 4. 7 times 4, and 7 times 4, that will give me 7 times 4. Yep. Close bracket, plus 7 times 22/7, and that will give me 22. That will give me 22. So if I open this bracket, I'm going to have 28 plus 22, and that gives me 50, and that will give me 50. So I'm going to have 28 plus 22, and that will give me 50 mm. I'm going to have 50. So the length is 50. Four pencils are held together in a square by an elastic band. If the pencils are of diameter 7 mm, what is the length of the band in this position? You see the same way. You see the same way of solving it. Just a brighter explanation. So this is 3.5. This is 3.5. This is 3.5 as well. This is 3.5 as well. Yes, this is 3.5, and here too is 3.5. And this is also 3.5, and we see this 3.5. Oh, sorry for that. It's 3.5, so I'm writing 3.5. This is 3.5. Yeah, 3.5. And this is 3.5 to 3.5. So 3.5. And then I'm having another 3.5. So this is 3.5 here too. Yes, 3.5. Sure. So 3.5 here. Okay, let me just use so we understand that I'm using 3.5. So 3.5 Here is 3.5. This is a radius. This is a radius, 3.5. This is another radius that I'm considering. This is a radius 3.5, and this is a radius 3.5. Now we are looking at a point that touches the band. So I'm having this. So if you look at it, I'm having how many radius touches this thing? I'm having this point. This is one radius that I'm touching. This is a point. This is a point. So 1. I'm having 1. So I'm having 1. I'm having 2. That's 2 radius. I'm having 3. This is 4. This is 4. This is 5. This is 5. This is 6. This is 7. And this is 8. So I'm having 8. So this means that I'm going to have 8 radius. 8 radius. And this 8 radius is the same thing as saying that 4 times open bracket 2 radius, 2 radius, 2 radius, 2 radius. That is the first thing that we have there. That is it. So that is the first thing. So we are looking at our L. So my length actually is L equals to the 4 times the coefficient, the chord coefficient, the circle coefficient. So I'm having 2 of it. So I'm having 2. So since the band touches 4 sides of the circles or pencils, so I'm going to use that. The total length now, the total length, my total length is going to be 4 times the number of the touches, the radius, 2 radius that I'm having. Let me explain. Because I'm having 2 really for each that have formed the part that touches this circle. So the part that is touching this band has a sector of 2 radius. So I need to know the length, the distance around this. So the distance is that I'm having 2 radius, but the 2 radius that I'm having occur 4 times. So I'm having 1. So this is 1. This is 2. I'm having 2. This is 2. This is 3. Yeah, this is 3. And the other one is 4. This one, then this one. And this is 4. So that's why I'm having 4 times the 2 radius. This is radius 1, radius 2. So that is 3.5, 3.5. And then I can express it also in diameter, which I'm going to have 4, because I know that radius is 2, diameter is 2 radius, which is and radius is a diameter over 2 divided by 2. So the same thing as saying that 4D. This is the same thing as saying 4D. So plus, now the length that we can obtain here is length of an arc. So how many length of arc do we have here? We have first one, we have 1, we have 2, we have 3, and we have 4. So I'm finding the distance. So 4 plus the length of an arc. 4 plus the length of an arc. And finding the length of an arc, it means that we need the angle subtended by the sector. So the angle subtended here, if you look at it, is 90 degrees. So this place is 90 degrees. It's a 90 degree. So I'm having 90 degree here, 90 degree, 90 degree, 90 degree. So I'm going to have theta over 360, which is 90 length over 360. It's going to give me 90 over 360. So it's going to give me 90 over 360 times 2 pi r times 2 pi r. That is what I would give me. So the length of bar will now be this times 2 pi r times 2 pi r times 2 pi r. So if we simplify further, we are going to have 4 times 2 radius plus 2 times pi r. And this is the same thing as saying that 4d plus pi r, which go back to the same formula we have. And this expression is length. The length we have is going to be 4 times 4 pi. I'm just doing and simplifying it more further. So I can apply this rule. I can apply this formula. 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 Now I'm going to apply the first one. This one has applied before, and that will give me this. My D is 7 millimeter, my R is 7 over 2 millimeter, my pi is 22 over 7, and that will give me my length, the length of the band, which is 7 into 4 plus 22 over 7 close by a millimeter, and the answer is 28 plus 22, which is the same thing as 50 millimeter.